Hello everyone, it's Kyle, and welcome to Let's Play Megaman Zero, a series very close to my heart. I actually got this game launched here, actually, even though I didn't beat it until like 2007, I want to say. Yeah, these games are hard if you don't know what you're doing. Let's get right on into it. And we start off with people running. Man, it's anime usual. Is that just me? Are those those things look like X? That's kind of strange. Giant robots! Also, for some reason, if you didn't see it there, when these guys get killed, they bleed. That's kind of graphic for a Game Boy Advance game. I'm surprised they kept that in. Then again, the Japanese version had blood as well when you shot them with the buster. I should really be narrating these characters. I guess I'll start doing that next part. Because it just feels weird commentating over cutscenes. Red and Mega Man. Whoa, Zero has seen better days. Yikes. Also, his helmet's design is radically different. Then again, different character artists. Curses! Magic! Also, in this world there are cyber elves, which is what that little girl is, that little flying thing is. Pretty much, they have special powers. Once you use them, they die. Fairly simple stuff. These guys, I'm just gonna say, these Resistance members must have graduated from the Stormtrooper Academy, because they're not hitting anything. So apparently this girl's name is Ciel, and she's apparently very important. And now she's using Patsy, which means she's gonna die. Thank you for your total of around 2 minutes 20 seconds of screen time. And now, badass motherfucker. Yeah, as you can see, Zero's form is definitely a lot more humanoid in this game, which I actually rather prefer because I've played these games to death. Now, before we start off, Dad, come on over here, shoot this for Cyber Elf. Cyber Elves in here, you're only gonna have a few chances to get, so I recommend you get them. I think there's a couple of good ones. Now, controls are fairly simple. Mouse is on screen, apparently. I didn't realize that until now. A is jump, B is attack. I didn't switch my options around, so for me to use my sub-weapon, which I don't have at this point, it would be R and B, but later R will just switch it, and B will allow me to use the other one. What else? Oh, that's right, L is dash, and the control pads obviously move. I don't think select does anything, start does the usual. It's fairly simple controls. Now, in this first mission, do not let her get hit. If she gets hit, make sure she gets hit as little as possible, because that will take away from your mission score, which is kind of important in the series 02 onwards. That normally kills all three of them. And we get a Cyber Elf. They can also be randomly dropped by enemies. They will be useful later on, especially certain ones. Now, right there is where we're supposed to go, but I was just making sure where I was. Because if you come up here, you can see there's a crack you can go up to if you use a dash jump just properly enough. You can get up here and get a Cyber Elf. I believe this is a healing type, which will boost your vitality. And those blue things are Cyber Crystals. They're pretty much the currency that you use and allow you to upgrade your Cyber Elves. Red things with health, of course. Gravity! By the way, I'm just gonna say that right now, I love this game's soundtrack. Especially that remix of Zero's theme from X1 that was just playing until now. Ah, curses! This isn't Sonic 06, you should not be grabbed like Elise. And we have our first boss here against the Golem. Its only weak point is its face, and try not to get hit like I do stupidly here. I haven't played 01 in a while. I've only really played 03 more than any others. But once you do enough damage, or if you get enough damage on you, I guess as well. I think it's recommended that you don't take damage though. Someone, whoever this is, dun dun dun, gives you the Z Saber. This is where I have to switch around my options. Equip the Z Saber, one hit KO, and I also hit her. Nice little attention to detail. He covers Ciel right there from this explosion. Really cool detail. Mission complete. And apparently Zero can't remember anything. Then again, after being asleep for 100 years since sometime after X8 even, I would expect that. Oh, and fun fact, this game's opening had to be rewritten because of X6, because X5 was supposed to be the end of the series. Right now we're going to be returning to the base, but right after this, and after a little conversation here, I'm actually going to be heading back there. I'm not going to show it, but what I'm doing is attacking enemies with my weapons to level them up, because when you start, your weapons can do pretty much nothing. And plus the Z-Saber is more than likely the best weapon in the game, so you're going to want to level that stuff up. Best way to level them up, though, is, you probably saw them earlier, the little spiders that come out of that web thing, those are the best ways to level them up because they come out so often. Because right now we can only do one slash and very weak charge shot with the Buster. You can tell how many levels a weapon has by stars underneath or on the bottom of the screen when you're selecting them. And the Z-Saber has a lot. So change to underground laboratory, grinding, and we're back. Also, I was able to get enough Cervau crystals, or energy crystals, to level her all the way up. There are 3 kinds of cyber elves, actually. Nurse, which increases vitality slightly, and by that, maybe by about a fourth of it is what it is right now. Animal, I believe it's called, which pretty much help your stats, or do other stuff with enemies. And hackers, which increase other stuff, and as you can see, I have increased my repertoire quite a bit. Yeah, you won't be able to know about the skill levels unless you've killed enough stuff with it, but it is extremely useful to have them the levels up really early on. Because the Charge Z-Saber Slash is one of the most powerful attacks in the game, especially when you get certain later items. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to start narrating these cutscenes next part. Because it's kind of weird not commentating over the cutscenes in such a way. Because the Zero series, unlike X, Classic, not Star Force and Battle Network, is really story heavy. It is kind of like the Battle Network and Star Force in that matter. Then again, I absolutely love this series, because I can say this, in terms of overall series, I'm going to, actually, no, I'm going to save that for the end of 04, because I am going to be doing them all. Now, shoot that thing, but don't shoot the jewel on top of that little wind thing. I'm not even sure if it has a name. And you'll see that the Cyber Elf is now, and dash to get that, dash and slash to open that Cyber Elf. You're going to have to wait a bit for it to come down, though, because there's no possible way you can make that jump without hacking. I'm also very glad to say that, whoa, that was a very high jump. That's kind of weird. Glad to say this is that the grinding for weapon levels is only in the first 2 games. It doesn't stop some things in Ford from being annoying. You don't need the wind anymore, so just get rid of that one. Charge Z-Saber that one so you can actually get to it. Because if you look carefully when you're lower than it, it actually does get lower to your level. So you couldn't accidentally miss it if you kill something with a weird weapon that could not jump that high. And we're actually coming up on the end of this level, I believe. Indeed we are. These are the boss doors for the series, and they're quite different looking, aren't they? And we're coming up here on our first real boss. This is Aztec Falcon. Apparently someone named Harpuya sent him, and I'm skipping through this dialogue really fast. Now this is one of the more unique boss fights in the game. It has a time limit. A minute and I want to say 20 to destroy this guy, which is actually rather simple because he only has yellow health, because bosses can get up to white health, which are 3 health bars. But luckily charge slashes take him down very easily. And Flying Thunder! Or rather, apparently this guy is too scared to really move right now, but for defeating Aztec Falcon, we get our first elemental chip. That one's the Thunder chip, which is kind of obvious by the lightning bolt. What these do is that they add elemental properties to your weapons, and because there is a weakness chain technically in the series, but it's not like Mega Man Classic or X, it's 3 elements that go in a circle. Lightning defeats fire, fire beats ice, ice beats lightning. And during that trip I also get another health increase Cervau, which is rather useful because I can say this, I'm not going to be getting many S ranks in this game. In fact, S ranks are like, I want to say they require 100 points in this game. 0, 3, and 4 I know are a lot more lenient with that. Because my score is going to go down fast, surprisingly. Although I think I get a B in all first of the 3 missions. And she's telling us about Cervau, a guy that you could have talked to learn about the weapon levels, but I already knew ahead of time. And he made the escape unit, which allows us to leave a mission if we think we are unprepared for it. However, it automatically makes you fail it. And you kind of want to succeed at all these weapon missions due to the stuff you can get from them. Anyway, now it's time for us... Well, first off, I'm going to save. Now it's time for us to go destroy a train, apparently. Thomas, it's time for you to die. Also, one thing I really like is that if you were paying attention to the beginning of the last mission, you could have seen a ladder down. That leads to this area. A lot of the levels in this game are one big area that connect. Now you can head on over to the left to get some more, I think, get a cyber elf. But right now, I'll come over here and head on down to get a extra life. You can actually tell when you have an elemental chip equipped by... Ooh, I see something up there, but we can't get to it yet. You can tell when you have an elemental chip equipped if you don't want to pause just by looking at the weapon icons in the bottom left. They'll be stark green if you don't have anything. They'll be yellow if you have lightning, and if you have the spoilers, ice, and fire chip, they'll be blue and red respectively. Love that soundtrack. The Game Boy Advance may have had very bad sound quality for certain games, especially Super Nintendo ports. But when it did its music right, Lord, did it do it right. Before we head on over farther to the right, jump on up here to get some life and a cyber elf. You can tell I played this game a lot. Now we have this mini boss. Use a charge attack and then slice some, and you can use another one if you wish. I tried to, but for some reason he actually got an attack in this time. 2 charge attacks and like 3 or 4 slashes should take him out, and he'll award you with a cyber elf. I don't know what all these cyber elves, what each enemy or boss gives you in terms of cyber elves, respectively, but I do know that they give you one. But farming cyber elves from enemies can take a while. The train is late! And now we have 3 minutes to end the mission. If you don't, I believe it's an automatic mission failure. I haven't really failed this, actually. Also, I forgot to mention it by this point, but the blue guys that you're seeing all over the place, they're called Pantheons. They look suspiciously like X, but then again, X, as we may have heard earlier, because I forgot to mention it, is the villain of the series. Or, at least right now, he is. He went rogue after being revived, and shit's gone down. This is one really weird engine chamber. So yeah, as you can see, white health bars, that means he has 3, you have to reduce him, but luckily with lightning, because that's this guy's weakness, it is pathetically easy to take him out. Yeah, this game, once you know it like I do, is pathetically easy. And yeah, it took me 6 years to beat. Wait, this game came out in 2001? Oh god, 12 years old. Mission completed. But actually, for beating this mission, we get that cyber elf up there, which is one of the best cyber elves in the game. I know this one for a fact is Totten. I still can't believe I have a B. Totten doubles your defense, which is extremely useful, because it doesn't let double your vitality bar. No, that's a later cyber elf. What it does is that it doubles your defense, and which is extremely useful later in the game, because some enemies do quite a bit of damage. But now that we're done here, before we end this part off, I'm actually going to take you for a tour around the base. Trans, I already showed you. There might be someone down there, and Ciel's room is fairly obvious, but now let's head on down here. First off, talk to this guy and give him around 250 energy crystals. So you can head on over here, enter this door over here, and get a cyber elf. There are cyber elves hidden on all over the place if you couldn't tell, and there are a lot. There's an extra one which I actually need to look up what it does in the Zero collection released for the DS in 2010. Good God, it's already turning 3 years old. But I don't know where all that stuff... I don't know what it does yet. And this is Cervau. If you had talked to him earlier, he would have told you about the weapon levels. Heading up on the floor, first off we have Andrew here. Listen to his story and you can actually get yourself a cyber elf, which is... I'm not sure if it's a good one actually. And this is pretty much just some backstory and such. Oh, that's what it is. Alrighty then. So, I just looked up what the new cyber elf does. So if you were to come down here, there's not actually any people down there yet. But, they will as the missions go on. Also, I did just learn what the new cyber elf does in the Zero collection. If you hold A for about 5 or so seconds, you turn invincible. And this was the first I had actually seen this. He apparently tells you your rank, which you can do just by pausing the game, so that's kind of weird. And here we have Alloutte. She'll be a bigger character later on, especially in ZX, but that's them. Also coming here for some free energy crystals. Just grinding these things is annoying for the cyber elves. And if you were to climb up here... Now you could have done this if you had jumped all the way up the shaft, which the elevator's in, but... If you were to come on all the way over here, we're actually right where the second mission started, so this entire world is one big place. But with that over, I'm going to end things off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys then.